Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Rosin Zarina binti Zahri. My student number is 2024794909. So today I would like to present about the importance of awareness on green building residential among university students in UiTM Shah Alam. So in this presentation, I will briefly explain about the background of the study, the objective, the research method, the main finding, and finally the conclusions. Okay, so for the introduction, as we know, green building are building that was designed to save energy, reduce water usage, improve indoor quality, and protect the environment. So even though green building offer many benefits, many people in Malaysia still did not fully understand them. So university students are very important because they are the future homeowner, professional and decision makers. So understanding the awareness of green residential building is very important for promoting sustainable housing in the future. Okay, so for the research goal, first we look at the problem statement. Okay, so many previous studies show that many young people are lacking of knowledge about green homes and their benefits. So because of this, green residential building are still not widely adopted by the young generation in UiTM Shah Alam. Okay, so there is also limited research focusing on university students, especially in UiTM Shah Alam. So this study aims to examine the importance of awareness on green residential building among UiTM Shah Alam students. So there are three objectives, which is first to define green building concept, second is to identify factors that influence the awareness, and the last one is to analyze the importance of awareness among students. Okay, so for the research methodology, first we need to identify the population of the student in UiTM Shah Alam. So the population of student in UiTM Shah Alam is about 40,000 students. Based on the Craigie and Morgan table, the required sample size should be around 380 respondents. However, this study only collected 3 respondents because it was conducted as a pilot study to test the questionnaire and data collection process. Okay, so the sampling technique that was used in this research is simple random sampling, where every student had an equal chance to participate in this questionnaire. So for the data collection method, the data was collected using an online questionnaire and it was distributed using Google Forms. Then the data was analyzed using SPSS software. Okay, so I will explain about the finding. Okay, first we analyze the respondent background. As we can see that most of the respondent were female student, which around 66.7%, while male student were 33.3%. Okay, so most of the students are also aged between 23 years old and 24 years old. So okay, for the education level, we can see that almost of the student who answer the question is from bachelor's degree, uh, and they receive monthly allowance between 201 ringgit until 400 ringgit. So most of the student get the monthly allowance from scholarship such as JPA or PTPTN. Okay, now we analyze the awareness levels of green building. Okay, so from the chart above, we can see that most of the students came from the Faculty of Built Environment. More than half of the respondents also stay in hostel, followed by student renting room or houses. Okay, so we can conclude that the most respondents were senior undergraduate students with exposure to sustainability related subject, because from the previous slide we can see from the chart we can see that most of the students who answer this question are from Faculty of Built Environment. Okay, next is familiarity of term green building. Okay, from the chart we can see that the results show that 80% of students are familiar with the term of green building, which means overall awareness is quite high. Most of the students are familiar with the term of green building through university or colleges, which take around 70.8%. Okay, for those who were not familiar with the term of green building, the main reason why they are not familiar are because of lack of exposure, followed by never hearing the term before. So this show that the education plays a very important role in building awareness, but more exposure outside the classroom is still needed. Okay, so for the preference to live in green home, so when we ask whether they prefer to live in green home or not, 86.7% of the students said yes, which shows strong support for green housing. So the main reason why they said yes, why they prefer to live in green home, it is because they can get a better health and indoor air quality, followed by lower utility bills. We can see that better health and indoor air quality get a percentage of 74.1%. uh, okay, so for the student who did not prefer to live in green home, the main reason because of limited availability and lack of awareness of uh, and benefits. This shows that students generally support green housing, but cost and access are still the reason why they did not choose green housing. As we can see from the previous slide, that most of the students only get monthly allowance around 201 ringgit until 400 ringgit. Okay, for the ranking question, which is the most trusted sources. Okay, uh, this study look at which sources that students trust the most for green building information. So the result shows that government agency are the most trusted sources with mean score of 2.7. Then it was followed by the developers and social media, and it also followed by the academic or research institutions. Friends and family were ranked as the least trusted with the mean score of 3.5. 3.5. This means that official and professional sources plays a big role in shaping student understanding of green building. Okay, so next is we analyze the factors that influencing awareness on green building residential. So there are four main factors that were analyzed in this study, which is first is perceived benefit, indoor environmental quality, next is environmental awareness and belief, and the last one is knowledge and awareness level. Okay, so the strongest factor was perceived benefit such as health comfort and cost saving, with the average mean score for 4.19. The second stronger factor was in the indoor environmental quality, including air quality, lighting, and thermal comfort. Environmental awareness and general knowledge also influence awareness, but slightly less from the indoor environmental quality, which take 4.04, which take the mean score about 4.04. So this show that students care more about the perceived benefit than just technical information. It is because students strongly believe that green building can improve health and well-being of the people. Okay, so for the analysis open-ended question, okay, from the open-ended response, I have grouped the respondents' answer into each group. The most common concern for support for green building factor was cost and affordability that was mentioned by 30% of the students. The second most common response was lack of awareness and information, and it was followed by the health and quality of life benefit. However, some students gave no clear answer, showing that a portion of students are still unsure about green building. Okay, so for the result, I will link the finding to the research objective. Okay, for the objective one, which is to define green building concept, this objective was achieved because students show strong understanding of green concept, energy efficiency, and environmental impact. With the highest mean score is 4.2. For objective number two, which is to identify factor that influencing awareness. This objective was achieved because perceived benefit in the environmental quality and environmental belief were identified as the stronger influencing factor. For the last objective, which is to analyze the importance of awareness, this objective was also achieved because most of the students prefer to live in green home, showing that awareness can influence the housing choices of the students. Okay, so for the conclusion, I can conclude that UiTM Shah Alam students show a high awareness and positive attitudes toward green residential building. Health, comfort, and energy saving are the strongest motivator for the student in UiTM Shah Alam to choose green homes. Education also is the main sources of awareness, but more exposure outside classroom is still needed. Um, Increasing student awareness can also help to support sustainable housing development in Malaysia in the future. I think that's all from me. Thank you.